Assalamu alaikum dear students. So let's continue our topic that we have already started, that is chapter number 10 from your physics 12th standard textbook, and the name of the chapter is magnetic fields due to electric current. And inshallah today's lecture will be part 7 of the same chapter. So students, inshallah, in today's video lecture, we will study torque on a current loop. In that, we will have explanation of the same thing and derivation of the same. So, inshallah, in today's video lecture, we will have only explanation part of the torque on a current loop. That is principle of a electric motor. So through a video, I am going to explain you the working and what is the principle behind this electric motor. So let's start now. When I turn on this switch, an electric current starts running and our fan spins. Such devices which convert electricity into rotation, we give a name we call it the electric motor, and these devices are used in many places like in our washing machines, your drilling machines, even in your electric cars. But the big question is, how does an electric current, which is basically moving electrons, push something as big as a fan and make it spin? The secret to this motor are magnets. In a previous video, we had seen that the current carrying wire can be pushed by magnets, or more technically magnetic fields. So an electric motor uses this magnetic push to spin a current carrying conductor. So in this video, let's explore exactly how it works. So let's start with a couple of magnets which will generate a magnetic field that's going to push our current carrying wire, and instead of just introducing a single wire carrying current, we will introduce a current carrying rectangular loop. Now it can be the loop can be any shape, but if you take it as a rectangular, it will be easier to analyze this. And if you are wondering why are you considering a loop, we'll soon understand why. And as of now, let's not worry about where the current is coming from, where the battery is. We will deal with that later. Now each side of this rectangular loop is a current carrying wire inside a magnetic field. That means each side will experience a force, and as a result this coil might start moving. Now to figure out how this coil is moved, we will need to figure out the direction of the force acting on each side of this loop. And to do that, we have seen before, we can use the left hand rule, where you take your left hand and stretch your finger like this. I remember FBI, but thumb gives the direction of the force, the forefinger gives the direction of the magnetic field, and the middle finger uses the direction of the current. So to figure out the force on each side, we just have to align our fingers in according to the current and the magnetic field, and the thumb will tell us what direction the force is. And so what we need to next is to apply this left hand rule to each side of the wire. And so as we have started with the pink wire, the current inverts and the magnetic field is to the left. So if we align our left hand in, it will look somewhat like this. And so notice the thumb is pointing upward, and as a result the force is upwards. Now if you apply the same left hand rule to the other side, we see that the force is acting downwards. And if you look at these two remaining sides, the current is parallel to the magnetic field, and we have seen before, whenever our electric current is parallel to the magnetic field, the field does not push and so there will be no force acting on this wire or on this wire. So we have been upward force here and a downward force over here, and as a result our coil will start moving. But how exactly will it move? Now we'll here see. Now here I am having board. Consider this is a rectangular coil. Notice on the left side I am just gonna push it up, on the right side I am gonna push it down, and as a result notice it starts spinning. So just like that our coil will also start spinning. So the same thing will happen over here. Our coil will also start spinning, and in fact over here it's gonna spin in the clockwise direction. So the same thing will happen over here. Our coil will start spinning in the clockwise direction. Now as it spins, the forces on the wire and its wire will remain the same because the magnetic field is still in the same direction. The current is still into the screen over here, that is not changed. So the force over here will still up, and the force over here will still be down. But if you are curious, you may wonder what happens now. So to the forces on this side and this side, earlier they were parallel to the magnetic field, but now they are no longer parallel to the magnetic field. So when there will be forces acting on these wires, let's see why. If you try our left hand rule to this wire, notice that the magnetic field is to the left, the current is sort of downwards. So if you apply the left hand rule, we see that the force will be into the screen. Now similarly, if we apply the left hand rule on this side, over here the force comes out of the screen. So there are the forces acting on these wires, but what are these forces doing there? They are just pulling this coil apart. It's just like taking this board and pulling it like this. These two forces are not going to do anything. They are just going to cancel each other, and as a result we are going to totally ignore these forces. They will not affect our rotation at all. So throughout the entire rotation we will ignore the forces acting on this side and this side. We are just gonna cancel out and it won't affect the rotation. So yes, our coil is now spinning, but pretty soon we run into a problem. You see, if we bring back our board, if you want this board to continuously keep spinning in the clockwise direction, let's say, then notice the force on the right must always be down and the force on the left must always be up. It should always follow the rule. Over here, once Pink's wire comes to the right, notice the force on the right side has become up and the force on the left side has become down. This will spin my coil back in the anti-clockwise direction. So you know what's gonna happen next. My coil will spin back like this. Now again the coil will spin forward in the clockwise and anti-clockwise. This is bad. This is not a good motor, or at least because it's not completing even a single rotation. So how do we fix this? Well, to make sure it continuously keeps spinning in the clockwise direction, we have to somehow make sure when this position comes, the force on this wire should become downwards and the force on this wire should become upwards, right? Only then it will continuously spinning in the clockwise direction. So we need to reverse the direction of the force. But the question is, how do we do that? Well, again, let's bring our left hand. So to reverse the force, say over here we want the thumb to point downwards, and now there are two ways to do that. One, we can we can reverse the forefinger that is in the magnetic field, keeping the current same. That's one way to do that, but we will not do because flipping the direction of the magnetic field is not all that easy. We have to change the poles and we cannot do that automatically. But another way in which we can achieve this is we can keep the magnetic field in the same direction, but we can reverse the direction of our middle finger and our current like this, and as a result our force will now point downwards over here. So if we will flip the direction of the current everywhere, then the force direction will change everywhere. So the force over here will be downwards and the force over here will be upwards. And if you are wondering how we can change the current just like this, we'll see how do that little bit later. But that's the most important thing over here is the position. We have to change the direction of the current. So let's get rid of our hand, flip the direction of the current, and now the forces flip, and as a result our coil will continue to spin in the clockwise direction. Yes, as you can see here, this will happen until again once the blue wire flips over, once the blue comes to the right and the pink wire comes to the left. The same problem now again to the right hand side, the force is up, left hand side the force is down, and again we need to do the same thing. We need to change the direction of the current. It is once we change the direction of the current, the coil will continue to spin, and so by changing the direction of the current every half a rotation, the direction of the forces will change and our coil will continuously keep spinning. Finally, we have converted electricity into rotation. Now, of course, in this animation, I'm pausing every time the current is changing so that we can see the force flipping, but of course, in reality, the thing will keep on spinning continuously. The last thing we need to explore is how do we attach a battery to this and make sure that the current direction reverse after every half a rotation. So let's say we bring our battery attached to a couple of wires to it, and let's say that we directly attach this wire to our coil. Then as the coil starts spinning, because the current start flowing through it, you will see that the wires start twisting and tangling and whatnot. But now, more importantly, at this position we want the current to reverse. How do we do that? We could either flip the battery, or we could flip the connection. We can make this wire come here and this wire come here. Then the current direction will change, the forces will reverse, and the coil will continue to spin. But how do we make this happen automatically? That's the question, right? How do we make it automatic? Well, it can be done by using a device called a commutator. A commutator consists of a split rings, which are basically two half metallic rings with some gap in between and a couple of carbon brushes. So the wire are attached to these brushes, and these brushes are just in contact with these rings. They are not connected to them. Because of the contact, electricity start flowing through it, and as the coil spins, notice the ring spins with them, but the brushes just stay there. So the brushes are literally brushing again the rings, maintaining the contact and making sure the electricity flows through this, slows our problem of wire tangling and everything. But now, more importantly, let's see how this reverses the direction of the current every half a rotation. So right now, the pink ring is contact with the positive terminal and the blue ring is in the contact with the negative terminal. But notice what happened once the coil is spinning enough. Once the coil spin and comes to the position, now notice the pink ring has come in contact with this brush, the negative terminal of the battery, and the blue ring has come in the contact with this brush, the positive terminal of the battery. How? Now notice, due to this commutator, automatically current will start flowing from here into this coil in the reverse direction, coming out here into the negative terminal, and so the current direction flips, and so the forces also flip, making sure the coil continues to spin in our clockwise direction until again notice Now again they will change contact. Now again the pink will become in the contact with the positive terminal and blue come with the contact with the negative terminal, and as a result the current will now again flow in this way, again reversing the direction of the forces. And so using a commutator we have now achieved complete motor action. So what did we learn in this video? We have learned that the motor consists of a couple of magnets and a current carrying coil. The magnetic field pushes the coil, making it rotate, and the important thing is every time our coil comes perpendicular to the magnetic field like this, we want the current to change the direction. That is achieved by a commutator, which is basically two split metallic rings and a couple of carbon brushes. So changing the direction, current changes the direction of the forces and ensure that the motor keeps spinning in the same direction. And so this is how we now convert electricity into rotation. And if we have enough current in this, and if the coil and the magnets are strong enough, then we can attach anything we want to it, like a fan or a washing machine, electric drilling machines, and make it spin using electricity. So dear student, let's stop here now. This is all regarding the explanation of a electric motor, how does it work. So thank you for this, and keep study, keep watching all the video lecture prepared by your respective teachers.